Okay, I'm gonna save it with the solo. Bow, bow, I'm dead. I can sing
Hello,
my...
everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Collision. I'm Eddie, that's Bray, that's Britt, that's Carla, and that's Brandon. And today we're going to be giving you our spoiler review of Thor, Love and Thunder. Oh, yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Alrighty, guys. Now, this is going to be our spoiler review. So, if you have not been able to watch the movie yet, that's okay. Go ahead and pause this video. Come back after you've watched it and hear our thoughts and feelings about this movie. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. And this recap of the movie is actually coming to us from the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki. Now, when we open up the movie, Gore, the last of his people, spends his days striving to survive on a barren desert with his daughter. He prays to his god Rapu for help, but his daughter soon dies of starvation. Just as he begins to hear a voice calling out to him in the distance, Gore discovers an oasis where he finds Rapu, who had killed the last wielder of an ancient weapon known as the All Black Necro Sword. Rapu makes fun of Gore for his helplessness and refuses to provide any assistance. Feeling betrayed, Gore claims the Necro Sword and beheads him and vows for the elimination of all gods. Thor continues his adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy, responding to distress calls across the universe while working to get back in shape. However, Thor remains discontent with where he is in his life and intends to retire. An influx of distress calls regarding Gore emerge, one of them being from Sif, who had hunted him down. Thor and Korg respond to Sif's call, parting ways with the Guardians, who leave to respond to the others. They find a defeated Sif with her arm severed, who warns them that Gore will attack New Asgard next. Meanwhile, Dr. Jane Foster undergoes treatment for stage 4 cancer. Efforts to search for a cure prove futile as she begins to lose hope. But Foster becomes inspired to travel to New Asgard in hopes that their magic can help eliminate the cancer. As Thor has unknowingly enchanted it to protect Foster while they were together, Mjolnir becomes drawn to her presence, fusing itself back together and imbuing her with the new powers of the mighty Thor. That night, Gore uses the Necro Sword to swarm New Asgard with shadow monsters. Thor, Korg, and Sif arrive to confront them, as does King Valkyrie and Foster, who Thor is surprised to see. While they were able to repel the monsters, Gore escapes with Asgard's children, including Heimdall's son Axel. Thor communicates with Axel and deduces that the children are in the Shadow Realm. Knowing that Gore's strength would be at its peak there, Thor, Foster, Valkyrie, and Korg travel to Omnipotence City to warn Zeus of Gore and ask for an army to help fight him. Now we'll go ahead and break right there, but this was a very interesting way to open up the movie. It kind of threw me off a little bit when we went right into the scene with Gore and his daughter walking through the desert. And then it was a lot of fun seeing Thor up to his antics with the Guardians of the Galaxy. But what did you guys think about this opening for the movie?
Can I say something first?
Sure.
Um, when the hell did Heimdall have a kid? And no mention in any other movie did he say, I have bearing a son. Where the fuck did the kid come from? That's my question.
That's a fair question.
They didn't see nothing wrong, I guess, with a little bumpy ride.
I honestly don't know.
Because there he is. And want to be a Axel. Child.
Yeah,
Like,
I,
honestly, Axel, is he Axel Foley? Like, is this
oh
Beverly
gosh.
Hilltop? Like, I have questions.
Axel
Like,
Rose. Guns and Roses.
See.
like, I just was like, what the hell is happening right now? I mean, yeah, it got a little bit spoiled for me with Jane with the cancer. They had to go with that storyline. But like, um, Okay, Heimdall has a kid, and New Asgard is all pretty and shit with normal houses and shit like that. I would think they would make it like old Asgard, but that's a lot of gold. But it it was interesting, to say the least. Natalie Portman did woke up. Props to her. She did do that. Um, Still didn't like the helmets, but it is what it is. And King Valkyrie running the country very well. How did they get that to be like a citizenship? Did they have to do some type of visa or claim this land as their own? I want to know how that was done. And then they have infinity codes. Like really? Like really? That's what we're going with? Okay, all right. That's fine. That is perfectly okay. And they have a Viking boat ride. Like this is a tourist attraction. Okay, I'm done now. Uh, go, go ahead.
Definitely a tourist attraction. Them sleeping goats work my nerves, but honestly, I do like the message it was sending. Like when he met with that God and that God didn't want to feed him and everything. I do
Mhm.
like that message going throughout. Like when he like don't put these people on a high pedestal. The same thing go for religion as well. Like people are just like it really broke my heart when he was like, but I worshiped you. I did everything you said, and he laughed in his face
Mhm.
like, there's no end reward.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then you see these people being extremists and everything. It's just like, oh my gosh, it just happens every day. That's what I love about what Marvel's doing. But with this scene, it throws me off so much because I don't know, maybe it's just me. I feel like everything's being so rushed, Like, wait,
Mm.
why this is going on? And like Brissette, when did they get it out and busy and had this kid? That's a little baby, this is a big kid. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, let me catch up with the timeline here. And then
Mhm.
boom, right into Jane having cancer, stage 4 cancer, cancer of what? Y'all just pew, 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 pew. Like, hold on, take your time.
I feel well starting off with for one of my critiques was going to be that the whole review is like I do feel that the tone was not consistent throughout. That's a overall critique of mine. But starting off with Gore and his story, I felt it was nice. I felt it set the pace for because I mean knowing who Gore is or who he becomes like the God Butcher, I
Yeah,
think it was very important to show him go through that and his origin, and seeing the God and yeah the different undertones with religion if you want to like really get into it. I'm just gonna
yeah,
just focus on the movie. Having lost everything, and for the God that you were literally worshiping to just throw that out in your face, then yeah. One thing I also want to touch on that I feel wasn't touched on enough in the movie is the Necro Sword belongs to a creature in the comics I'm mistaken called Noah, who is like the center for all the symbiotes.
Right.
correct.
And was that him? Like that was the one he said who they defeated, right? That was like laying like it was like laying on the ground when
Hmm.
Gore got to them. So I thought that was because like I felt like a missed opportunity. They could have went more into that. I felt the movie was it could have been longer. Cause I said I'm gonna get into more into the length of the movie later on. But I felt that was a good point for Gore to like set him up as a character. We get to Thor. One thing that I felt this movie did that was kind of a detriment with Thor Ragnarok. They kind of did lean into like a more comical, theatrical side, like fun, lighthearted side. I felt with this movie, with Gore, and especially with Jane, I felt that it was kind of like heavy-handed on the cheesiness of it. I felt like there could have been a better balance um, between what's happening with Gore, his storyline, and Jane's storyline. I'm happy that they included the cancer storyline because that is true to the comics. in the comics, she does have cancer. But I think in the comics, her becoming Thor was kind of keeping the cancer at bay. But they flipped it in the movie. If I'm not mistaken, in the comics, it was helping her. In the movie, it was slowly killing her.
Right.
But seeing that though, I'm happy they kept that in there. Um, so that was cool and everything. We got to see New Asgard. We got to see Valkyrie being a leader, and she's a great leader. I think she enjoys it, but I think she did like miss having battles and everything. Thor like figuring out who he is. Like I don't know. I don't really like I said the tone and the pacing was kind of off for me. I felt like we're just like jumping into one thing and another thing. We're not really like letting it sit for like a moment, kind of like marinate. Thor trying to like figure out everything, which is fine, but we like kind of went from one thing to another, which we'll talk about later. But I love this. I love Christian. Well, I do want to say I do love Christian Bale as Gore. I think he really delivered the best that he could. But I like his storyline, and I like the like I said, I like that they kept that part true for Jane as far as her having cancer and her becoming Mighty Thor. I felt that was overall accurate. But like I said, I do feel like there was with the tone, it wasn't consistent throughout the whole movie. I felt that they were too heavy handed. I think they're trying to ride the wave for Thor and Ragnarok, but they were kind of leaning into it too much. Like the '80s is pretty much like the '80s. The space is just like the '80s. Pretty much. That's what I was getting. But more into that in the next parts. But that's my theory. That's how I feel about it so far.
Okay.
Well, um, I tried not to fall asleep watching this movie. I really did. The first act was interesting, as you mentioned, Eddie. Um, I'm almost catching Z's talking about it right now, to be honest with you. The beginning with Christian Bale, girl. Now let me tell you something. I'm gonna read you Taika Waititi, Mr. Warm Me, on set. Yeah, I sent that clip to the group so they could see you turning your cast member into a personal slave.
Oh,
But no shade, no shade. I say that as a joke. But they were fooling around on set, and obviously, Chris does a lot of mounting, from what I can see. But that's not here or there. Um, Taika said something about the reason why they didn't go with the original design for Gore and Christian Bale. First of all, anybody who knows Christian Bale, Miss Mamas does not like to be in heavy makeup. She does not like to be in prosthetics or anything like that. Otherwise, she'll cuss you out like Tom Cruise cussing people out on the Mission Impossible set. Um, there's also the fact that he said that something it was too similar to Voldemort, and I'm like, girl, what's not clicking here? You could have easily put some dots on his face, gave him some tentacles or something for them to add to post, and made him look like his comic accurate self so people could appreciate it more. The way he looked was just a chalky albino. And the daughter, played by Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter, I didn't get that either. My God, like no shade, but y'all Marvel celebrities, some of y'all's kids just be snatching up roles because y'all feel like y'all have to put them in or like inch them into Hollywood, and maybe they don't want that. And they're just doing it at a very young age just to please you and make you happy. Kids just want to drink Capri Sun and play games. And y'all be like saying, "Oh, you want to come daddy's job?" And they'll be all stupid and be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Not saying your daughter's stupid or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, y'all just be thrown, like, Marvel, give the kids, from the poor side of the hood a chance to act. My God, like I'm just saying, like stop giving your actors or your cast members kids a chance to shine. Like, don't get me wrong, the girl I think who plays Hawkeye's daughter is one of the Russo brothers' kids or something like that. She can act. So I'm not gonna chop her for that because she actually does a good job playing his daughter. But it's just like the kids. I'm just like, what are we doing with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, give
Right.
other people a chance. Y'all kids are gonna be wealthy, fine, comfortable for the rest of their entire lives. Where there's someone who might have the acting chops to do exactly what your child did, if not better, and make it more believable. Like when I saw that, I was like, that's definitely one of somebody's kids. Like that, like I shouldn't be able to say that as a
Right.
fan. I should not be able to clock that. Um, but besides that, Tessa Thompson, girl, you showed up. You did what was asked of you. Natalie, I can now see why you accepted this role, and I'll get into you later, Miss Lady. Um, Russell Crowe was there. Um, and that's all I have for this first half because my God, it was just such bullshit. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, and Ray, no shade, girl. I'm gonna read you a little bit because how the hell you gonna say Thor is better than Thor Ragnarok? I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. It just baffled me. My mouth was agape, catching flies. I was like, girl, that origin story was awful. The Destroyer was bad. Loki, Tom Hiddleston, God love that boy, but he tried his best to save that movie. Anthony Anderson just had his eye patch on, and everyone was trying to save this damn clusterfuck of a bomb, and it just exploded. I couldn't take it.
Well,
But
as
I'll
far
let
as
you
that
defend it.
goes, just to give
Go
some
ahead.
feedback, yes, because out of all the origins, I felt that Thor, the first Thor, was the most comic accurate. I felt that we did get it was
Okay.
corny, it was cheesy, and all that. But I do feel that as far as like the character of Thor, how he was portrayed in that first movie was very accurate to the comics as far as his hero's journey. For him
Anthony
to be
Anderson.
the arrogant prince, to realize there are things bigger than him, I felt that portrayal was really good. That's the only reason I put Thor above Thor Ragnarok for the portrayal of the story of who Thor was. I felt that was the most accurate out of all of, and not to say that Iron Man's origin, Captain America's origin wasn't accurate, but I felt that it was personally my favorite for that reason.
Okay.
And that's the only reason though that
Mm,
I would put Thor beyond Thor Ragnarok. Otherwise, I would put Ragnarok, then
mm.
Thor Love and Thunder, then Dark World. Oh, excuse me.
You're
Okay.
being nice because I would actually put Thor, Love and Thunder below um the Dark World.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This was the worst
Kevin, we
Thor
love
for
you.
me. This was the worst. And yeah, I may have misspoken when I quoted Mr. Odin's name, whatever, and the man said it was the father from Blackish. But guess what, girl? I'll call him Hannibal. That's better.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Hannibal tried his best, but that man is like 200, and I'm sick and tired of seeing him on screen. So I'm glad he gone. But this franchise, pack it up, hun.
Hmm?
Pack it up. I'm done. I'm done seeing y'all want to see Naked Thor. I don't want to see Naked Thor. I'm
Huh?
done seeing that man. Guess what? There's other chiseled chaps and hairy bellies and hairy butts in the MCU to come. All right. Henry Cavill is just a knock and a skip away, honey. He's on his way to the club. Okay. I don't need him. I don't need Miss Chris Hemsworth anymore. Honey, you've passed your prime. You did what needed to be done, as Law Roach says on Legendary, honey, and now it's time for you to go. Skedaddle. Okay? Where's Beta Ray Bill? Where's that girl? Where's the other guy? What's his son's name? Thunder Fist? Thunder
Um,
Love? The Love Below? What's his name? What's his name?
The love, the love. Oh
Thunderstrike.
God.
Where's Thunderstrike? Where's that bitch? Where's Loki running around in London with Owen Wilson? Girl, come on. Go
Before
ahead,
we move
Eddie.
on to the next part, I do have some additional thoughts on that whole thing too. Yeah, Russell Crowe was just there. Like I said, this whole that's why one of my biggest critique about the movie is like this whole like they kind of leaned into the cheesiness of it, and I'll talk more about um, Russell Crowe's Zeus later on. But to have all the gods there, what a lot of people didn't notice is the Black Panther god, Basset, she was sitting right there in front of Thor and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have loved to have gotten to know more about the gods who were all there. You know, this for
But
this
isn't the Panther god named Bast?
Boss. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I misspoke. Boss, but yeah, she was there. She was the one sitting in front of
Oh, that was her.
was
Okay.
Thor and them. And we really got to see anything about other gods. I would like to have other gods and I kind of speak up. I think they name dropped. I saw an article, Khonshu's like father or something like, but I missed it. I have to go back and read the article about that. But have all these guys, and you have this threat that is killing them, and I do feel that they did portray that was kind of like the whole underlying point. The gods don't really care. You know, Zeus said these are low level gods. We shouldn't be concerned about that. We don't have to worry about, let him kill all the lower gods. I mean, gods are shitty. I mean, that's pretty much the betrayal in every kind of work of fiction. Gods,
Y'all saw
for the
God of
most
War?
part, don't really give a damn. But I would have liked to have seen like a debate, about maybe maybe someone could have spoke up and said maybe we should do something about this person before he becomes a threat. But this whole thing with Zeus just putting on the show, and I mean that was unnecessary for me. They really could have did without that, but whatever. Um, yeah, I just wanted to just throw that out there too. That whole scene, like it was camp and not
Yeah.
in the best way.
Right.
Could I also add to
Mm-hmm.
about Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Oh, pervert. Really, dude?
Oh.
You got invited to the orgy. Who would want to do that, sir? Nowhere to. More
Okay,
naked toy.
and
Y'all
one
saw he punched
thing.
Azalea Banks in the
What was
house?
that accent like? Zeus is a Greek god. Was that supposed to be Greek? Because I don't know what the hell that was. That I don't
I,
understand.
yeah. I think
I
that
don't
was
know what
his
the city
version of a
that
Greek
was,
accent.
but they
Yeah.
should have their paychecks severely reduced because that was unnecessary
That
too.
was a Greek accent? Are you sure?
I don't know. That's what I'm
I
saying. I
don't know
don't
Allegedly.
know
what
if it was
that
supposed to
was.
be a Greek accent or.
Some
I mean,
some
Russell Crowe,
Greek
you are an Academy
people.
Award-winning
Yeah.
I
actor.
thought he
You
was
could do better than
Yeah.
Lebanese.
that. You just could have just talked regularly and called it a day.
No, that was
I don't know who
Italian.
that.
That was Italian. That
I don't
was
know who that was
Or
for.
they could have found someone who's actually Greek to play the
I
role. I
mean,
mean,
the list goes on, but I just want to point that out.
a British man.
could
Hmm.
you
All
imagine?
right, Eddie, go ahead before we all get into this damn movie for real.
Oh, I'm getting
Alrighty, with
into
that
it.
being said, guys, we're going to go move to the second part of this movie. Now, unconvinced that Gore is a threat to Omnipotent City, Zeus instead has Thor captured, forcing the others to intervene and fend off Zeus's men. In the scuffle, Zeus uses his thunderbolt to destroy Korg's body. Only his face remains intact, although this is enough for him to survive. Enraged, Thor uses the thunderbolt to impale Zeus in the chest, which Valkyrie steals as the group escapes to confront Gore in the Shadow Realm. On the way, Thorne learns of Foster's cancer diagnosis, and the two rekindle their relationship. Upon arrival, they attempt to locate the children, only to realize that they had fallen for a trap. Gore intended to take Stormbreaker in order to utilize the Bifrost Bridge to access Eternity, where he can wish for the extinction of the gods. They battle Gore and his shadow monsters once more, but are forced to flee back to New Asgard once Valkyrie and Foster are weakened. Before Stormbreaker can be transported across the Bifrost, Gore steals it. Thor is informed that the effects of Mjolnir are aggravating Foster's cancer, and he urges her to stay behind to recover. Valkyrie is also unable to continue fighting, leaving the Thunderbolt in Thor's possession so that he can fight Gore again. Now we'll go ahead and break right there. Um, the scene in Omnipotent City was fun. Where I kind of got confused was that Gore wanted to go to speak to Eternity to grant this wish to exterminate all the gods when he already has a necro sword that can kill the gods. And if he's Gore the God Butcher, wouldn't he want to personally butcher the gods? But that was my one of my only things. But what did you guys think about this part of the movie?
So let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like this iteration of Zeus at all. I hated it. Just
Mm-hmm.
the one Thunderbolt, and the Thunderbolt looks cheesy like that. What the fuck is happening? I'm like, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Who? Taika, like, he approved that? He really did approve that. With the one Thunderbolt, where we know as Zeus can conjure up many Thunderbolts. Why just the one Thunderbolt prop? That was so damn dumb and stupid. Um, and then, to have the Thunderbolt impale Zeus, like, that's kind of stupid too, but okay. You know, I already knew Thor and Jane were gonna rekindle this damn romance. It was in the damn trailer. Uh, like, and then Valkyrie getting impaled, I was like, what? That does not make any sense at all. But okay, it was just. I mean, the other parts were okay. It's just that Zeus bothered me because I did not like this iteration. I prefer the God of War's iteration of Zeus. Hell, I prefer the Hercules cartoon Zeus, and that says something.
Right.
I just hated it so much because Zeus is supposed to be this all powerful, all knowing. He was like pretty much the scary part of the Greek pantheon. I
Mm-hmm.
was not scared at all. I was just laughing. Like, why the fuck would y'all do that? Ooh, and my voice is starting to give up. I'll say no more, but no, no, just no,
I like
just
to go
no.
there are a couple of things I want to point out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, I feel Christian Bale did what needed to be done, but the whole witch thing kind of confused me too. Especially, I don't, to my knowledge, attorney that and not how eternity works. So that kind of just threw me for a loop. Also,
Right.
one thing I wanted to point out is as we're moving forward, up to the release of the movie, they were saying that Valkyrie is bisexual, or I don't know if she's supposed to be gay. And as we move forward is asking Marvel for representation, the only thing we get is her kissing the hand of a female maiden as she took the lightning bolt. And I want to call that out because I am so tired of movies with Marvel, especially doing the bare minimum. In
Mm-hmm.
Loki, they had it written down on a sheet of paper that he was gender fluid, but he had his romance was a female version of himself. I mean, you can call it narcissism, but it's still a female version of him. Now, just a segue for a moment, going into season two, if you're gonna have him kiss a boy, a man, that would be great. But I'm tired of them doing the bare minimum and feeling that's okay. Like I said, the whole tone I felt like was imbalanced. I felt they focused more on the comedy and cheesiness than I felt that you can do comedy and cheesiness and also have like more compelling stories. Because out of the whole movie, I felt that Jane and Gore, had the more compelling stories. They were the more serious tone. And also when Natalie coming back again, but I'll say that for the last part. But I feel like it was an imbalance of that. That's like my big critique. And like Brett said, like Zeus is probably one of the most, you know, I felt that it was more. I didn't take it seriously, and I don't think we were supposed to. But again, they were kind of leading heavy on the like the campy cheesiness of it, and I could I'm just like met about the whole thing. Um, so we get to the next part. Also, another thing I felt was unnecessary: the whole backstory between Thor and Jane. You know, them dating because Karg is the one narrating the whole story. I don't feel that that offered anything significant to the movie at all. I mean, I don't feel like it contribute anything, and so I felt we could have did without that. The original runtime was supposed to be 4 hours. Now, if the original runtime we got like a wider, compelling story, more a deep dive into some of the characters, then I could have been okay with that. But given what we saw within this almost 2 hour span, I don't know how that would have worked unless we were going to get some better storytelling. So the fight with again, I felt Natalie Portman, even though I felt her coming back, she did what she needs to do, the best of her ability. She's an amazing actress. Um, like I said, her storyline with her having cancer and her having the moments of being kind of like overwhelmed. Those are kind of like my favorite parts because it really showed something compelling and moving about about Jane. Given what I know, I knew because I read like Mighty Thor, like a New Avengers, and her whole storyline with her having cancer is something really compelling. So that portrayal from comics to movies, I felt was really accurate. Um, the fight scene was cute. The fight scenes were all cute. I felt like Natalie and Christian did their parts for their characters, as well as Tessa as Valkyrie too. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this segment of the movie.
Okay. All right. Um,
Jesus Christ. Um, okay, so killing Korg, that had some type of weight to it, right? Then turns out the bitch is alive. So they Missy Elliott'd it. Okay, they reversed it. Don't know why. Didn't care for it after they showed that he was still okay. When they killed him, I was like, oh, okay, some little depth, some little now the stakes are getting higher. Girl, he's alright. And then I'm not even gonna. We'll wait for that. And then the Russell Crowe thing, I was like, ooh, he killed her. I was like, finally, someone who killed someone right in the instant where someone else died, like getting revenge, like and not taking 60 minutes to do it. I was like, thank you, Jesus. And Russell Crowe, for that accent, you deserved a bolt in your chest. I'm gonna say that. Uh, that was awful. That was god awful. And sir, you have lost your touch. Gladiator has boasted your head so high that you think you are on the moon. And sweetie, I'm gonna need you to come back to Earth because what that was, no. I mean, think about it. Even in the Mummy, he was awful in that too. Um, and I'm not saying you can't act, but you need to. I don't know what's going on in your life, but you need to eat, pray, love, or maybe you need to uh, cry, hate and kill. I don't know. But that's neither here or there. Um, the whole thing with Jane and Thor, it was expected. And yeah, I agree with Ray and the others. Like, girl, what was the point of wishing when you got the sword to do what you want to do? Are you that lazy? This just proves to you white people are lazy as shit. They don't want to fucking do anything for themselves. They rather go to someone else and have them do it for themselves. How about you pray and ask for your fucking daughter back, you dumb bitch? How about that? Or resurrect Robert Downey Jr. if you're not going to do anything else, you dumb stupid hoe. But you know what? It's fine. Baldy gets his comeuppance anyway, so go ahead.
Honestly, to piggyback what Britt said, that was a disappointment because you hear Zeus, you're thinking you're gonna see a mighty god, but it kind of reminds you of like the Wizard of Oz, where you saw the wizard like I'm the great and powerful Oz, and you turn around and you see this old pervert.
Mm.
I'm looking like, okay, what? That's Zeus? Hey, Kevin, we need to have a chat. Bring your baseball cap. We need to have a little chat about that. Mm-mm-mm. And the thing with that boat, it looked like a toy. I just, what is that thing supposed to do? I want to know. I, I'm, mm, that's just me being reasonable. Let me keep it at that.
I honestly, I have to agree with everybody else. Like, it was very confusing. I had expectations of what it was going to be, and then it just blew up in my face. As far as like us meeting the gods and everything, it was just it was a lot of campiness, like everybody said, um, ridiculousness, and you couldn't even take them seriously at this point. So I don't know how that's all going to play in the future of Thor, if they make a Thor 5 or wherever else we may see them in the MCU. But with that being said, guys, we'll go ahead and move into the last part of this movie. Now, at the center of the universe, Gore begins opening Eternity's gate with Stormbreaker. Thor arrives and imbues the children with the power of Thor, giving them enough strength to overcome the remaining shadow monsters. Gore gains the upper hand against Thor. Having sensed his distress, Foster decides to wield Mjolnir against despite her weakened condition and join the fight. Thor gives Foster ample time to use Mjolnir to shatter the Necro sword into pieces, dooming herself and Gore. Thor recovers Stormbreaker and has the children use it to return home, but they could not stop Gore from entering eternity. Thor calls out Gore and pleads for him to choose love over death as he rushes to Foster's side. Their love reminded him of the love he had for his daughter, thus deciding to use his wish to resurrect love. Foster soon succumbs to the cancer, vanishing into Valhalla. Thor accepts Gore's request to take custody of Love before he dies from the Necro Sword's curse. In the aftermath, a statue of Foster as the mighty Thor was erected in New Asgard. Sif and Valkyrie begin training the children in combat, while Korg's body fully regenerates as he seeks to produce an offspring. Thor starts to raise Love as his own daughter, entrusting her with Stormbreaker while he wields Mjolnir into battle. The two begin traveling the galaxy, offering assistance to whoever needs it, becoming known as Love and Thunder. Meanwhile, Zeus begins to recover from his injuries as he sends out his son Hercules to kill Thor. Foster encounters Heimdall in Valhalla, who welcomes her to the afterlife. And that's how we end the movie. The direction that this went with Love and Thunder, I got it. It was cute, but it was not what I was expecting, to be honest with you. And then, as far as the end credits go, with us meeting Hercules, I think everyone pretty much had the feeling that that was going to happen. And then we get to see Kate, or excuse me, Jane Foster arrive in Valhalla, meeting Heimdall. So I'm wondering how that's all going to play out moving forward with seeing everybody move on to different afterlives throughout the MCU. But with that being said, guys, what do you guys think about this end part of Thor: Love and Thunder? Uh, uh,
Okay. 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 So I got it, but then didn't. I was like, okay, so I thought Mjolnir was gonna heal her, but then reading the comics, it doesn't. Um, and Eternity is just sitting there in the yoga pose. But okay. Um, Didn't think that was gonna go that way, but okay. And I was like, well, I know Jane ain't getting a happy ending because she's gone now. And Thor's all miserable and shit. But now he has a adopted daughter now, which was cute. But like, okay, we meet Hercules. I mean, yay, I guess. So are we gonna meet Xena next?
Oh shit.
I'm just asking a question. And like it was weird. Like I get that the MCU is now showing all these different afterlives like Field of Reeves. Then we had the Panther afterlife. Then we got this one. But it's like, where are they going with this? Because now we see Valhalla, and it's like they're getting ready to do something with all these afterlives coming together. I feel like that's where they're gonna go at this point. And I was like, I guess in the comics, Jane becomes Valkyrie as well,
Hmm.
or they're gonna do it where Thor goes to Valhalla to get Jane back. I don't know what they're gonna do. They said there could be a Thor 5. I don't know why, but okay. And Chris Hemsworth is gonna continue to get Marvel checks until it's done. And Thor may be a new mentor for the young Avengers. Who knows how that's gonna go? But overall, the movie was decent. It was good halfway, and then halfway it was eh. But overall, it was a decent movie. I thought we were gonna come to the conclusion of Thor and be done, but I guess we're not. And yeah, it's just yeah. Like, isn't Loki supposed to be in Valhalla too? Like, where the hell is he at? Like, we didn't even get a glimpse of him or nothing. Like, boo, y'all gonna do
Boo.
Tom like that. So it
Okay.
understandably it was a good movie, but it had issues that if you do another one, some of these issues need to be redressed and maybe not have Tahiti Wahada direct possibly, but you never
Tahiti
know.
Wahada.
You know
Mahalo.
that man's name is Taika Waititi. You better stop.
Oh
So,
my lord. Is that his name? Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, y'all. Continue to lie. Go ahead. Hi, Ray.
so a couple of things. The final battle was okay. I don't really. I mean, I don't know how I feel about him like giving the power to the kids, even though it's just for like I guess temporary, or maybe not.
Hmm.
One thing I do want to point out that I should address in the first half was Sif. She survived and she's back on with New Asgard training the kids or training Hamdale's unknown son. I still don't know where she's been at this whole time. They didn't even explain where she's been at. Wherever we haven't seen her since Dark World. Just want to just put that on the record officially. So
Right.
that was just
And
weird.
she gave the collector the
Um,
reality stone.
Again, what I enjoy about the movie is that I don't know much about Christian Bale's the Gore character. I haven't really. I've only read like a handful of like Thor comics. Most of them have been like with him with the Avengers, so I'm not overly familiar with him. But I enjoy Christian's portrayal of the character. I enjoy Natalie Portman's character portrayal, even though I feel her dying. Leading up to the release of the movie, they announced what I think post pandemic that at Comic Con they brought her out and she held the hammer up and she's gonna be the new Thor and you kill her off. Like I don't understand that. And they're planning to do something with her character to bring her back some type of way. Again, I don't understand the point of killing her off. And maybe they do something with her. Plus, have a conversation with my brother about it. You know, given how things ended with Natalie Portman after Thor: Dark World, it was surprising to say the least when she came back and agreed to do Love Thor, Love and Thunder. So I don't really know where she stands with that. If it's just a one-time thing, if that was the case, then you could have just recasted the character. So they have someone else to play Jane Foster, and she become the new Thor. Because in the comics, she becomes at one point she was the leader of the new Avengers.
Right.
So I guess I don't understand the point of killing her off. And like I said, I don't know if Natalie Portman signed on to a multi contract or for like future appearances or anything. But that was kind of weird to me. And again, as where this whole wish thing with eternity was weird. In the comics, I mean, we don't really see her a lot because she is a cosmic being. She's out there with the living tribunal. You know, she ain't just she only just popping in. You know, la da, and she doesn't grant wishes like she's the Tooth Fairy, at least to my knowledge. So that aspect was weird. Overall, I felt the consistency was my biggest issue with the movie. I like Chris Hemsworth. I feel like the character did what they need to do, like the main cast. But overall, the consistency was my biggest issue. Now, with the post credit scene, we see Thor Zeus is still alive, and like his tone, you know, now it's all serious and everything. So we're gonna have the gods come back and one of the superheroes. I mean, I guess Hercules. I was actually more excited to see Hercules um than Zeus, because I know Hercules. I've only known Hercules in the Marvel comics as a hero. He is part of the new Avengers, and all that. So also he is also bisexual. And again,
Hmm.
as far as representation goes, we barely got that from Tessa Thomas. Unless they give her a girlfriend in her next appearance, then I feel it's lip service. I'm tired of them doing the bare minimum. Give us full LGBT relationships. I mean, we kind of got that with old boy in the Eternals. That was nice to see. We could have seen more, but
Right.
it's a step in the right direction. But I want more going forward. I feel that that's not too big of an ask when every other movie there's an intense straight hetero relationship, and we're just not either not being featured or featured as the bare minimum, and I do mean bare. Like I said, we need more of that going forward. Overall, like I said, I liked the movie. It wasn't. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it. I'm like right there in the middle. There are aspects of the movie that I found to be watchable. I felt that they were again heavy on the like cheesiness. They kind of really leaned into it when it didn't need to. I feel that there was like no setup when we departed from Guardians of the Galaxy. We got their Thor movie coming out. I thought that there would have been like some type of hint or clue. We still don't know what happened to Gamora as far as like, did she go back to her timeline? Did she, she's out there in space somewhere? Like, there's like no mention of that at all, or even the possibility of the present or the one girl who died, whether or not it's possible to bring her back. I mean, maybe they'll address that. Or they're saving that for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I feel they could have like mentioned it or something, or left like some type of clue. Thor raising the little girl. I'm not familiar with her. I don't know if she is a character from the comics. If anyone else knows that, you can let me know. But her like having Stormbreaker again, like I think Brand said earlier, or Britt said, "Where's Better Way Bill?" Like we saw him as like a statue or a figure in for Ragnarok, where he was back on the planet Scar. He was one of the champions.
Right.
We don't know if he died. I doubt he's not dead. He probably escapes or something. But where is he at? I was hoping to see. I would like to see Better Ray Bill. I feel like we have four Thor movies. Yeah, he just got Stormbreaker, but I feel like we could have saw him or something. Um, yeah, so she has Stormbreaker now. He has Mirror back, and they're gonna be fighting things together. Like I'm not familiar with the little girl. I don't know if she's a character or not. If you know, or our viewers know, whoever's watching, let us know in the comments, comment section. But overall, like I said, it was okay for me. It was all right. I didn't. Again, I'm like in the middle with this movie. I felt that we could have gotten more storytelling. Again, you know how I feel about storytelling. If the storytelling is good, then the movie can be longer, and I would be here for it. With this, though, I mean, they were just doing this for giggles and for laughs and giggles, and it's going to make money in the box office because it is Chris Hemsworth leading the cast and everything. But
Unfortunately.
it could have been better.
Yeah.
It could have been better.
Thank you, co-panelists. But let's be real here. The movie was fucking bad. It was awful, and it should have never been fucking made. It was bad, girl. I could have gotten the entire rundown from YouTube clips. Now, for legal purposes, I was at the theater. You know, I actually went with Eddie. We were in theater 305
Yes.
seats, row 64.
Yes.
Don't worry about the rest of the details, Kevin.
That's right.
But I was there.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes.
And let me tell you something. The movie was bad, sister. It was fucking bad. Natalie Portman, you messy ass bitch. You accepted this role because you wanted this bitch to die like Harrison Ford did in Star Wars. You are a messy bitch. You are a messy bitch. I'm sorry, girl. I'm going to call you a messy bitch, girl. Guess what? I mean that with all the shade. Okay, and I don't mean like bitch. Like I'm not the hetero bitch. I'm talking about bitch with the bitch bet. Okay, you are a messy bitch. You are a messy ass bitch for accepting this role only because you were like, oh shit, y'all gonna kill her off, and y'all signed that check mad fast. You are so messy for that. Okay, just to bring her back to kill her. Girl, when I tell you I rolled my eyes and I said, oh girl, I was so awful. You would have thought Big Frida was there. Girl, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? What am I doing watching this? I could have gotten the rundown in 10 YouTube clips. 10 or less. Chris Hemsworth, what was the
Take
point
it
of
like
bringing your
this.
daughter into this fucking movie?
Oh, that's his actual daughter, like real life daughter.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
I did not know that. So
His daughter, India.
Okay.
I love you, Uncle Thor. I love you. I love you, Uncle Thor. Girl, what a waste of time. When I tell you I rolled my eyes to the back of my head, the guy who played Hercules, let me tell you something. As being a fog for my entire life,
Yes.
and being a Marvel fan my entire life, I can tell you without a doubt that iteration of Hercules was so stank. It was awful. It was dreadful. That man did not have the physique, the face, the thigh, body, or cheek to be representing as Hercules. Are you kidding me?
So
No,
he was
don't,
not
Ray.
there
Don't,
enough.
don't,
Okay.
don't, Ray.
No,
Let
no,
me
no,
get
I'm
it
not gonna
out.
defend it. No, I was gonna tell Britt maybe she can like put a picture up like in edit, like found a picture. I can send a picture
Oh,
of
please,
Thor,
please do.
of Hercules
So
in the
he
comments
so
because
he was
they
not
showed him
bear
like this
gay
naked
enough.
and like
No, he wasn't bear gay enough. No, he
no.
wasn't.
I'll send a picture and you like if you can like post it like in the video.
Okay.
No. I thought that was that man from American Horror Story, the one who was naked all the time. I was like, what the fuck? What is he doing? And his costume looked cheap as fuck. Girl, I seen better shit at Etsy. You got some nerve.
Oh, Eddie.
Okay. That is Hercules on the screen. Can y'all see? That is a man. That is a bisexual man. That's a bruh. Now, Eddie, please be so kind to look up
Yes.
the actor who's portraying him. Maybe if you can find like a body, a torso, or something like that shot. That'd
I
be great.
absolutely will. I absolutely will.
Yeah, like it went by just like that. Like I have several questions. Like I barely saw like the costume, so I didn't get a good look at it. He had like the weapon. I said, well, he does have that in comics. That's okay. That's accurate at least. But yeah, because as soon as I saw the movie, I asked, who was that person? I had no idea who that was. And our co-host Eddie told me, and like, I'm looking at the picture, like, I guess so. Oh Lord,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new Hercules in the MCU.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you kidding me? Jesus the Christ. Are you kidding me? What is that?
And Molly,
What is
that?
what is that on the screen?
It's an honor gay.
And Brett is actually right, everyone. This
Yes,
is
he
what
is.
we call in our community an otter.
Yes. Correct.
This is an otter. This is an otter right here. That's not something I want in my MCU. That's not my Hercules.
Now this would have been a great time to just get like a bulk WWE superstar just to have right on screen.
There he is.
What is that? That's Nigel Thornberry.
These have to be better pictures.
In the younger days.
Drink it all in.
not available?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Carla,
That's
your
good
mic
enough.
here, it's going in and out. Carla, your mic is going in and out.
The surprise is called technical difficulties.
God.
He's not bad looking. It's just that.
Hey, stop lying. Stop lying. That man is not fine. That man is not Hercules. I wouldn't want that thing saving me.
I would prefer they could have just asked a WWE superstar, a buff one, to hell they had Batista just stand there as a stand-in, use his body. That would have been better. Like I said, I didn't get a good look at the man. They literally just like that. As soon as they said yes, father, and they fade to black.
I would have taken Brock Lesnar as her.
Oh, that's perfect. He would have been perfect.
That's the ideal body type for somebody like Hercules, honestly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Or the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That would have been ideal as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That
That man, I think he's 7 feet tall.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I built like a brick house.
Honestly,
what the hell is that?
When I first saw it, I really for a split second, I thought that was the actor who played Juggernaut in X-Men 3. I thought that was I didn't get a good look. And I really thought that was him for a second. That's what it was giving me.
Well, that's not the Juggernaut, bitch. All right, it's not him. That is just some outer gay.
Carla is right. Carla is right. Was Roman Reigns not available for this?
Seriously, they could have picked.
Oh yes, Jesus Christ, that would have been perfect.
He would have picked up the phone.
Good job, Carla. Yes.
Brock,
that man.
Any one of them would have been perfect. And hell, maybe
that man.
Maybe they can still get them for whenever.
Recast them now. Sorry. No, Jesus. No, I won't stand by this decision.
For a reference for our audience, ladies.
No, get a Charlotte's one, Eddie.
Can he grow facial hair though? I think Hercules.
Yes, he can. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, he can. Okay, so you can get it later off. All right. Oh God! Wow.
Can we show Roman Reigns, please?
We absolutely can.
That's Roman Reigns is a man. That is a child. Right? That's what we saw over there. That was a child with bushy brows and a large nose. I don't know. That's not my Hercules, honey. Return to sender. That's not what I ordered online. That's a man right there. That's a man.
Roman Reigns,
That's a
ladies and
Hercules
gentlemen.
man. That's a Hercules man. Oh my God, Jesus.
See.
Y'all could have spent a good 45 minutes just tatting up his arm for the role if y'all wanted to. And it would have been perfect. And you stupid bitches get the man from Ted Lasso because it won a couple Emmys last year. You stupid hoes.
Oh, he won an
hate
Emmy
y'all.
too. He won an Emmy too.
Oh,
Just to be fair.
excuse me. I don't give a shit. Fuck him. Fuck that cast. And I'm gonna say it for all the girls. I never watched Ted Lasso, and I have no intention. It's not because I'm cheap, because let me tell you something. I got Amazon Prime, I got Netflix, I got Disney Plus, I got all that shit. I am not paying for that app plus to see Jason Sudeikis win some couple awards for his white humor shit. I do not care for it. There are better shit, there's blacker shit that I'd rather watch than that bullshit. Yeah, I said it. Ted Lasso is white humor for white people, and y'all can have that. But don't bring that shit over here into the MCU. Fuck that shit. I hated that show. I seen clips of it on YouTube. It is boring. It is satire shit. It's like watching The Office again. I'm like, this is so white. Mindy Kaling's writing has come through again in full form. I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. But let me tell you something. I was not a fan of this movie. This movie was so fucking bad. Natalie Portman, you are a messy ass bitch for signing up for this role just so that you could die and then never see these girls again. If you hated Marvel so much, you should have said, Kevin, fuck off, and hung up the phone. That's what you should have done, and so that we could have gotten a better plot and a better movie. Girl, the time was wasted. And for all of y'all who spent your hard-earned money, I mean, like myself, well, I hope you got your money back. I hope you did, because my God, I couldn't imagine leaving the theater without getting my money back, because I would have felt robbed.
Okay, Abby, we're done. Stop it.
This is torture. This is torture at this point, whatever that is.
I can't disagree. Listen, I choose to focus on the positive, but I can't disagree with what Brandon
There's
said.
no positive. There's no positive. Maybe when you're charging up a car that's dead.
Oh God. Oh my
I
goodness,
mean,
you guys.
the positive for me is that we saw Chris naked. I really wanted to see the front and why everybody was fainting, but
Likewise.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know why?
Can I tell you something? There's a bunch of websites that we have as homosexuals where you can see all the white chiseled butts that you want, honey. And I can guarantee you it's way better than what you saw for $29, whatever the fuck you paid to go see that shit.
I'll have to
promise
agree
you
with that as well.
I promise you that. Chris Hats could give you better content. And honey, free promotion, you're welcome, Chris. Okay?
You're very
Chris
welcome,
Hats
Chris.
has better legs and thighs than Chris Hemsworth. I guarantee you that. Look him up. Google him.
Yeah.
The younger viewers don't Google him. But the
Please
girls
don't.
who are really Google him.
Hell, he could have played Hercules. I wouldn't have been mad at that.
I would have been mad either. I would have
No,
said,
not
just
at
give
all.
that man just a little bit more facial hair around this area. And I
Yeah.
could have seen it. Give him some dark hair.
Yeah.
You got it, dude. But this movie was
Yeah,
a
the more
waste
I
of
think
fucking
about it, they
time.
really could just. I don't understand who was the casting director for that choice. I don't.
I know Tessa left that set. She said, I'm eating Janelle Monáe out. I'm out of here, y'all. Goodbye. Girl.
Oh my God.
Hydro having random ass kids that we didn't fucking know about. How he had time to leave his shift at the goddamn Bifrost to go fuck somebody.
exactly.
And have a kid that no one just brought up until this point in time.
Yeah.
I think being a hoe is normal in Asgard because they dad had this sister that tried to take these kids out. They stealing babies, they making babies that we don't know about. Lord have mercy. Somebody get Maury out there to Asgard.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty, guys. With that being said, are there any other final thoughts before we close out today's episode?
No more Thor movies. Chris
Please
Hemsworth quit.
recast Hercules.
Give the role to somebody else. Cast Beta Ray Bill yesterday. I'm sick and tired of
Yeah.
this bullshit. He can handle the mantle. That anteater face man, he got it. He got it, girl. He got the hammer. He's got the power. He's got it. Now I'm tired of all this bullshit. Kevin, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, if you announce Thor 5, if you announce some bullshit on that panel during Comic Con at San Diego, I swear to the Christ, you are getting red on this show. And I don't care if you send a box at this point,
And
honey,
we will
because
be
guess
and we will
what? The
be there
door will be
next year.
closed.
And we will be there
Inflation's,
next year. Come high,
I
hell
mean,
high water.
depending on inflation, we will be there next year.
Okay, Biggie,
Depending
are
on
you out
inflation.
of there?
Because let me tell you something, Kevin. If you want to pay for my flight, me and my co-panelists, let me tell you something, honey. The hotel rooms are not cheap. You better get to booking. Because let me tell you something. I'll tell you my demands to your face. I'm not afraid of you, sister.
Oh, Jesus.
You need someone with balls and guts. And I'm that bitch. All right. I will tell you straight up. Everyone else, okay, they're going to be nice to you because they like you and the movies. I'm going to give it to you raw, like coffee in the morning, black. I'm going to tell you straight up where you fucked up. And Eddie will too if he's mad enough and if he falls asleep.
Folgers.
Everyone else is nice. Okay? You can ask about his relationship with Warner Brothers. Don't make that this.
Folgers is in the car.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our review for Thor Love and Thunder. But please comment down below and let us know what you think. Also, please remember to like and subscribe. Click the bell button for notifications so that you know whenever we have new videos here on the channel. And please follow Nerd Collision on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. But once again, I'm Eddie. That's Ray. That's Britt. That's Brandon. That's Carla. We're Nerd Collision, and we'll see you guys here next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later, Kevin.
And we are wrapped.